Welcome back to the podcast, and today we'll be in Italy, Rome, talking about the Trevi Fountain and the Piazza Sant'Ignazio. Sorry, give me a moment to... We're here in Rome, land of aqueducts and Greco-Roman architecture, with a touch of classicism permeating the buildings throughout the city. Our special guest for today is Theseus, who has been brought to the present through top-secret means. Where am I? Wait, did you say... Rome? Don't worry about him too much. Anyways, on Rome, the land of colosseums and temples. Rome has an amazing history when considering its long history and roots in the modern world. But you wanted to know about the Trevi Fountain, right? The what? Great Aries. A metal horse. The Trevi Fountain is fascinating because of its proximity to the Spanish Steps and other famous buildings like the Trevi Fountain. Hey! Who wrote this? You're fired! I need professionalism, people. Alright, roll it back. What do you mean we're still alive? The Trevi Fountain is a wonder, not only because of the legend it holds, but because of its significance to the Baroque era and Roman architecture. Its name comes from the Trevi district and was made over a 30-year period. It is 160 feet wide and 85 feet tall, and its water comes from the Aqua Vergine, Rome's softest water some 1700 years ago. So this place you're describing is like a temple and fountain combined. The architect, Giuseppe Panini, was a notable character in the Baroque era of architecture, with his only other architectural piece being the elevation views of the theater at Hadrian's Villa. But the architect who had designed it to what we recognize today was Gian Lorenzo Bernini. That's right, the father of the Baroque architectural movement. So he was a father to an idea. Did one really give birth to a thought? That's not important. Bernini's design was more centralized around organizing the square to be bigger and changed so that the position of the fountain could have been seen from the Quirinal Palace. The original intent, to attribute trivia, is space in the fountain. It should be noted that this took over 30 years to complete, which is only reiterated because it switched hands 3 times. It took 30 Olympic festivals for this fountain to be completely finished. Now to the Piazza Sant'Ignazio. The Piazza Sant'Ignazio is like a forum, but it's more of an open square space that allows for breathability in the city. It serves as a scene for the stage that is the Church of Sant'Ignazio. It takes delight in Rococo, which is similar to Baroque in the sense that they both became popular around the same era. It's a residency, and yet it's also a comedy. And that's by design. Although I'm not certain if the intent was centered around the theater. It has a great grasp on it. This can be seen as the theater is not only the space it is in, but the people that take up the housing or remaining spaces. It was made within the 18th century and uses colossal orders on its sides to frame itself, as if it were a part of a scene background for a theater. So would that be the original intention of the creator, or your own stance projected onto the structure? You're 1,500 years too old to be the thinker. So just stick to the script. Alright? What is a script? And the main architect behind the Piazza Sant'Ignazio was Filippo Ragusini, who was a man greatly entrenched in the ideas of undulation in the Baroque time. As we can see here, the circular format of the building allows for some interesting entry points into these apartment buildings. And their magnificent height also plays into the idea of framing and giving the individual person the opportunity to feel like a character on the stage. How can a man perform 2 tasks at the same time and not realize it? There's a conversation to be had on this topic of foreground and background. Right, Theseus? I finally get it. The secret behind Baroque architecture, and possibly life itself. But first, how do I return? And this is all... Wait, I still needed him. What do you mean? He said the word that undoes the process. He almost gave us the answer to literally and potentially life itself. Life itself. That's akin to the equivalent of putting a self-destruct button on a hairdryer before it creates the cure to cancer. It doesn't make sense. We're so close. I'll just wrap it up here.